Hi everyone, welcome out to my channel. Today we're going to play some more Swooning Over Stans. And we're still going for Ford's route. Which, by the way, I had to redo it because I was recording with the audio, and the audio did not want to work, so we're going to hopefully do what I was doing a little while ago again. Which, someone thumps their fist on the storage room door, stirring you from your sleep with a jolt and a thud as you fall off the mattress. Scrambling to your feet, you step over the door and swing it wide open. Open wide. Digital Wave, I need your help! At that very moment, you look down to see Waddles swaddling in her arms, wearing a top hat and a small bow tie. Why is Waddles looking so damper? He does look pretty dashing, doesn't he? Wait, we're not here to dish out compliments. There's an emergency. A love emergency. Mabel stares up at you with wide eyes, her little arms unmoving as Waddles attempts to wiggle it free from her grasp. This kid's stronger than she looks. Knowing Mabel, this could mean she has a new crush. From what Dipper told you, she's still deeply rooted in her boy-crazy phase. She desperately wants to wed Waddles to some unsuspecting critter outside. Waddles and Gompers are renewing their vows today, and I can't find Gompers to put his down on. You gotta help me find him. Oh yeah, I think I remember this episode. I need to rewatch this entire series. I have the entire series on DVD. We still do? I think I still do. You weren't actually expecting your second guess to be right. Okay, wait, Maple, just calm down for a sec. But we have to find Garpers. The ceremony's in 20 minutes. Waddles wiggles himself free and runs down the hallway to freedom, ignoring Maple's shriek of protest as she chases him. You compelled to go back to bed. This is almost definitely a dream, but jogging after Maple regardless. Gravity Falls is definitely not a dream. And knowing that, well, I know she's done this before. You catch sight of Maple just as she leaps over Dipper, who's sitting on the floor with a large array of graph paper and chewed pencils, like yesterday. She runs to the back door, surprisingly open, after Waddles' snorting self, yelling at him not to lose his tie. Wait, Maple, what's going on? Waddles wedding Gompers? You're a little out of breath. Maple's fast. Dipper smacks his hand to his forehead, dragging it down his face dramatically. Of course, she told me they're renewing vows or something. They got married last summer, but she misses the pizzazz of weddings. You know what? Maple's dream job and as adult should be like wedding planner or artist. Dipper looks unpaused, but you can tell he's at least a little invested. Are you going to help her with whatever that was? I don't know what's going on. Sorry, that's Mabel for you, but it's her thing, I guess. There's a moment of silence. I'll help if you do. Thanks, Dipper. And with that, you run past him. Dipper stutters his surprise, growing fainter as you head outside. Maple's already a ways away when you burst into the shack's backyard. Fortunately, Stan and Ford are nowhere in sight. You're not sure what you think of them finding you searching for a goat bride, as Maple calls out toward Gompert's home. come on, Gompers. I already booked the second honeymoon, and the caterers are going to be mad. Runaway brides are so cliche. She's seriously invested in the farm critter's marriage. That, or she's watched way too many dramatic romance movies, or both. I'm gonna go with both. Gompers, come on, go, pal. Where are you? You hear Dipper head towards Maple to find her, to help her look as you veer opposite, opting to cover more ground in search of the runaway goat bride. Where would you look? Where should you look? On the roof. You walk backwards and put a hand on your brow, shielding your eyes from the sun as you search the scaffolding of the shack. Nothing. You continue walking to the side now, until the rays of sunlight obscure the view above the sign of the gift shop, where serendipitously a crowd guides overhead to block the sun, and you're able to look up higher, seeing the misplaced lettering, the various wear and tear of the roof, and a small billy goat munching on a part of the weather vane. Wait. Hey, Maple. Yeah? You point up at the roof at Gompers. Here comes the bride. Maple shrieks, Gompers, and sprints into the gift shop, slamming the door so hard the open sign flips to closed. There's a silence for a moment, and then something flips open, the roof's small balcony, and Maple pops out from underneath, climbing up on top of the roof and attempting to coax Gompers down. There's a ladder up to that little balcony, right inside the gift shop. It's pretty cool for fireworks. Maple pulls a sandwich from her sleeve. You can't help but imagine what else she has up there, and waves it in Gompers' direction. He tots towards the balcony, hopping down to Maple's level and snatching the sandwich from her hand. She grabs the goat and heads back down the ladder into the gift shop. Oh, Gompers, you can't get the pre-wedding jitters anymore. You're already married. You can't get away that easily. Thanks a billion, Digitwave. You saved the wedding. And with that, Maple gets to work unwrestling Gompers into his dress, yelling commands to Dipper to grab Waddles, who thankfully did not get his bow tie dirty when he dashed away earlier, and get everything ready for most important ceremony in the history of ever. Maybe an exaggeration, but Maple's excitement is undoubtedly contagious. Okay, once Dipper finds Waddles, I think we got everything ready. I am, of course, the car caterer, proud mother, musician, guest combo. Dipper's gonna take pictures for my scrapbook. Hey, I never agreed to that. Dipper, please. I got to official shine 8. Do you mean officiate? See? I'm so busy, I can't even talk straight. Please, Dipper. I'll help you with some nerd thing later. I pinky swear. Dipper compilates this, with his chin minoring his Grunkle Ford, of course. As long as you actually do this time, then yeah, I'll take pictures. Maple jumps up and down with excitement, adjusting poor Gompers in her arms. Yay, thank you, Dipper. I owe you one. This is what the best brother looks like right here, Digitwave. Okay, you don't have to do that. The whole thing again. I think I'll go get back to Waddles. You get back here. Now that we have that fixed, that means wait. Zeus left already. My ring bearer's gone. Oh no! What are we gonna do, Gompers? Gompers gives an intelligent answer of Ba, chewing on his bridal veil. I could ask her, but I don't know. Gompers choose that moment to look at Maple's eyes and gloat at her constantly. Maple naturally takes that as a sign from a goat. You're right, of course. This is your special day, again. Maple turns to you with pleading eyes. Hey, Digital Wave, could you be the new ring bearer for the ceremony? I guess. It would give me no great honor. I'm just gonna be nicer. I'm very vested in this partnership. Maple, I gotta see it through. Maple beams, obviously so very pleased that you're taking this as seriously as she did. I mean, sarcastic. Thank you, Digital Wave. Let's get this show on the road. Or this wedding on the backyard. It still works. Maple runs back into the house, and you hear the thumping upstairs faster than the hungry Gompers. Waddles. Gompers, thankfully, is still occupied by the half a sandwich Maple taunted him with. Stays put. She comes back soon after with puffy purple pillow and 2 clear sticks. Before snapping the sticks in half, glow sticks. They're glow sticks. She curls them into small bracelet-sized wings. These are so much fun, more fun than rings. Plus, Waddles can put it on its tail to look super awesome, handsome. Walls yoinks in agreement. In his mad dash out of the house, he lost his top hat. Hold your hands out, palm up, and get down so that you're not as tall. They can't put the rings on each other if you're way up there. She got a point. You duck to your knees in the dirt, and Maple turns your hands palm up, revealing placing the pillow and glow stick rings on top of them. Okay, Maple, I'm here with the camera for Digital Wave. Why are you on the ground? He gestured for the happy couple with wide arch of your arm. They needed a ring bearer. Well, I guess they do. Maple nods, small hands on her hips. She looks over the wedding scene and mumbles to herself, checking things off a mental checklist. Okay, I think we... Oh, wait! Forgot the flower petals. I'll be right back. She is gone again, leaving you alone with a pig groom, a goat bride, and 2 glow sticks of matrimony. Go, Maury. That kind of works. You decide not to crack that pun on Dipper, who's examining his disposable camera. He pops the back open and sighs, smacking a hand to his forehead. This one's out of film. It must have been the one Maple used at Candy's party. He looks up at you and shrugs. I'll go get one of my spares. Make sure these 2 don't go anywhere, or Maple will. Well, you know Maple. You haven't known Maple as long as Dipper has, but you understand immediately. You left alone in the backyard with a groom pig, a bride goat, 2 glow sticks, and a broken disposable camera. While you love to say you've absolutely been in this situation before, you unfortunately have not. I really am very happy for you, for both of you both. Well, then, Gompers. Both animals turn to you, nonchalant, to the current state of events. But I can't believe Maple forgot the flower petals. Jeez. Just as you could you go to continue the one-sided conversation between human, goat, and pig, you hear 2 voices coming from around the house. Around the house, I wonder who that is. 2 very familiar voices, Ford and Stan. Hey, Sixer, if you hadn't gone off about the wobbly junker, the gobblewonker, Stanley, has Dipper really never told you? Then you wouldn't freak out. Then you wouldn't have freaked out that kid at the store we needed. And we'll have, I don't know, The stuff to fix my house after he got a car stuck in it. It's still my house, and besides, if he was a fisherman, he needed to know. Both Stan and Ford round the corner to find you sitting on your knees next to Waddles and Gompers, banishing a pillow and glow sticks in the dirt. The three of you stare at each other in silence. Yeah, it looks weird. Maple need a ring bearer for the wedding. All I need to say is Maple. It's at the moment that Maple kicks down the back door, runs to your side, and throws rose petals on top of your head. Ta-da! You blow rose petals off the tip of your nose and grin at Maple. I think our bride and groom are ready to renew their vows, don't you? Maple nods emphatically at you before turning to her Grunkles, lighting up 100-watt smile. Yes, Grunkle Stan and Grunkle Ford, you guys got back just in time. And just like that, Maple pushes Stan and Ford towards you and shrugs their hands so that they sit across from you. Stan complains about his knees, and Ford asks Dipper exactly why the pig and the goat are betrothed. Fits with what you know about both of them at this point. Maple makes way with the wedding, and you sit cross-legged, the pillow and glow sticklings on your lap. Ever so often, Maple stiffs a theatrical sob, whipping a very real tear from her eye before she turns to you for the rings. Oh, Maple, how should we the betrothed wear the rings, since they don't have any fingers? Just put them on where you think they fit best. And the goat's horn and Waddle's gel. You get up and promptly crouch down in front of Waddles and Gompers, playing your ring bearer part very seriously. A ghost stick ring goes onto one of Gompers' horns, and you place the other on Waddles' rear, hanging off his curlicle tail. I now pronounce you husband and husband again. You may now kiss the goat. Wallace sniffs at Gompers and snorts. That definitely counts. Dipper reappears with a new camera, and Maple throws more rose petals at him. A few get stuck in his fluffy hat, and he rolls his eyes, but retaliates by taking a very close-up picture, the flash temporarily blinding her. Hey, save the film for the newlyweds. I need plenty of pictures for my scrapbook. You owe me a new camera for this, Maple. He sounds annoyed, but his fond sibling smile gives him away, and he starts taking pictures of the happily couple, gaining odd angles as Maple pushes them into silly poses. You step away from the scene and go to head back into the house. Being a ring bearer is first a work, but Stan and Ford stop you before you can make it to the door. Hey, Teacher Wave, thank you for playing along with Maple with the whole wedding thing. We're both glad you're willing to entertain her while we're gone. She didn't, make you do it, did she? Oh, she didn't. She needed a ring bearer, so I stepped up to help. Stan and Ford arch matching brows at you. I'm very invested in the marriage of the goat and pig, you know. The three of you laugh, and Stan pats your shoulder. Ford gives you a warm smile. Well, I'm glad you're as into all of this as she is. Thank you for that. Hey, kid. It's nice to be nice to her, you know. Ford takes a step forward on the patio, veering down at you through his cracked glasses. You'd be somewhat intimidated if it wasn't for the fact that he's blushing. Blushing? I appreciate that you occupied the kids for Stanley and I while we were gone. Both of them seemed to like you being around. He grinned at him with a shrug. It's no problem. They're fun to have around with, even if I'm gonna have some strange photos in Mabel's scrapbook at the end of it. Ford smiles, sweet and almost kind. It's your turn to turn red when he looks at you like that. Well, if you excuse me, I got things to get back to. Yes. Aw. He walks past you and into the house. Stanley following soon after. Stan elbows forward, and it looks like he's muttering something to him, but you can't hear what it is. Whatever he said, Ford looks scandalized. Scandalized. Hey, did you wave? You're gonna miss the party. We got popsicles. I call the red ones. Pineapple ones are mine. I call dibs. But the pineapple ones are the best ones. Maple and Stan wrestle over the yellow popsicle. Well, Dipper contently wraps a red one, holding it above his head, and put out of Gomper's way. Ford gingerly picks up a purple ice cream pop and places the ice chest open for you to grab one as well. While Stan and Maple aren't looking, you hide the pineapple popsicles at the bottom of the chest. Dipper sees and starts laughing, but doesn't tell. They're a strange bunch. These two sets of pine twins, but they're certainly make you summer a lot more sighing as you stay at the mystery shack continues. You're a wreck of a car sitting outside in the heat of a setting sun. It's another day of summer without nothing to do. But wait, your schedule's surprisingly clear today. Ford usually has something going on for you to help with, and if not, Stan, Zeus, or the kids do. Who do you want to find? Ford. Of course. You pass through the living room, and Maple spots you from her seat at the table. Did you wave? I was hoping I'll see you. Come on, I want to ask you something. Maple points down at the table with a raspberry pink colored pencil. Her art supplies scattered across the table lie across various sheets of paper with brightly colored doodles and lots of glitter. You see a drawing that looks like a cross between Barney and Godzilla. I want to see that. A picture full of puppies and a page with a drawing that kind of looks like you. Is that Ford or Stan? Maple's not finished with it yet, but the telltale jawline gives it away. Probably Ford. Definitely probably Ford. You sit down at the table across from Maple, someone getting the same feeling that you'll get a job interview. It's intensified with she pushes her organized chaos of papers aside and staples her fingers. I'm gonna say taps her fingers over the table surface. Did a wave. I'll be frank. I've been trying to find a match for my grunkles for a while, but I haven't seemed to get their matches made. Sorry, match. But then, it's like you were pulled from the air, attached to the shack by a magnet of love. Yeah, I mean the magnet gun? It's a sign. It was a sign. And this week just made the chemistry you share with him obvious. You know who I'm talking about, right? Ford? Ford? Yes. Grunkle Ford. Grunkle Ford's great with family, but he's still guarded. You're the first new person I've seen him actually get interested in. Maybe you get to know him. He'll see that social interactions aren't so hard, and maybe love was on the horizon all along. Well, I mean, with we joke probably it canonically his ex being Bill Cipher. I don't blame him being guarded. See, it was kind of a abusive, toxic relationship. Love, that's a jump, to say the least. And anyway, though you had the chance to share some quality time with Ford, you still feel like there's a huge part of his story that you're missing. How much do you even know about him anyway? And why do you want to know so much more? Mabel, Ford and I haven't spent all that much time together. Sure, we shared a couple of ventures, but nothing. Ventures are the perfect bonding material. I know that's that firsthand. Do you know what would really get the chemistry going? Talking to him? No, I'm talking about something more romantic. Hold on, I'm getting an idea. I'll get everything ready. Digital Wave, you just have to focus on falling completely and utterly in love. Matchmaker Maple is back in the game. Just as you exit the talk with Maple, you run into Dipper, just right outside the living room, and it doesn't seem like an accident either. His arms are crossed, and he's looking at you dubiously. Yep, he's up to something too. So I heard about Maple's plan. Yeah, same. How do you... I just left the room. I just listened to it. Well, word travels fast, and Maple sends out mass update text. His defensive posture softens a bit. Just tell me one thing. I know my grunkles can look after themselves, but can you promise me you won't hurt Grunkle Ford? Definitely not like his ex. You could trust me. Okay, Digital Wave, I remember that. A text notification sounds and Dipper checks his phone. And be ready at any time for your date with Grunkle Ford. This feels awkward enough, no offense, Digital Wave. It's just my Grunkle Ford actually is going on a date. Oh, do old people even date? Kind of hard to wrap my head around. Or we just let you binge watch Golden Girls so you understand. I hope Maple doesn't ask me for my help tomorrow. I mean, I have enough trouble trying to date for myself. Maple calls down from upstairs. Hey, Dip Pop, Dip Dop, I'm going to need your help tomorrow. Well, never mind. During the next few days, you, Ford and Dipper, get fur into the D and MD campaign you left off, and you have time to finish Alex out to compliment Tyros and Vivran on the team. Dipper tells you that the free person trope is typically small for a DD and MD group, but you've been getting the hang of the game, mostly from taking adventures of Ford's helpful nudges in the right direction. You notice Ford staring at you during the game sometimes, and you can't deny that you've been caught doing the same. After your fateful chat with Maple, you're on edge waiting for her to pull something out of her sleeve. Every time she burst into the room with fistfuls of crayons, you jump at least a foot in the air. But you've been doing your best to pretend everything's fine, normal. Or at least as normal as it gets in Gravity Falls. You ventured out into town earlier today and did some tourist-worthy exploring, and ran into the Pines family at Greasy's diner about an hour later. According to Giggly Dipper and Zapparated Ford, a door to another plane had appeared in the fridge instead of food. Post-documentation and inspection, a lot of speckle squatting from Dipper and complaints about from Stan, Ford has suggested to just wait it out. It was done by the time you got back. He secretly hoped to catch a glimpse, but when you asked Ford about it, he assumed that it was nothing special. Wouldn't even have the rank among his top 10, he said, pushing his glasses up in his nose. After that series of fridge-related events, the shack felt quiet. Dipper ventured out with his camera equipment, off to find something amazing, and Stan in his office, checking in with his sources, whatever that means. That leaves you and Ford both intensely reading on the shack's patio. It's warm and comfortable, yet the overhang shields your eyes from the blinding summer sunlight. You glance over at Ford. He looks calm and collected, same as he's been all week. Conservatively, you've been a little nervous around him since Maple's matchmaking interview. It's not that you ever thought of him in that light before. It's not that you ever plan on actually trying out. You can always ask Maple to call off the matchmaking thing. After spending the past couple of days convinced that Maple was going to spring out an unavoidable romantic situation on you at a moment's notice, you better not live with that kind of anxiety. A kind of anxiety. You settle back into your book, a paperback Ford lent you. It's a jargon-heavy sci-fi with an abstract cover you probably would have overlooked on the bookshelf, and you think you're about to see the first glimpse of a plot after 3 chapters of introduction. You go to turn the page of your book, but the back door swings open. Maple explodes onto the porch, armed with oven mitts and a apron. Tidwave, Grunkle Ford, I need your help. I need it now. Ford sits up with a wide-eyed look, fixing his glasses that had been staring off the page of his nose. Starred off the bridge of his nose. Mine don't do that. Mine's in place. What is that? What is it? It's something burning. Then again, mine, I swear, like, mint from my body, so. She's a kind and buying the glasses too. It is something burning in the kitchen. I need help baking. Ford relaxes enough to leave the bookmark of his dog-eared novel and closed it, and looks at Maple with a air bewilderment. Ford, why are you dog-earing your book? Glinda's throwing a grub. I can't even pronounce this anymore. No, I cannot remember how an umlaut sounds. So I'm gonna say it like American. Sorry for German. I can say a few of them. Gruba, Dutch, Hessenforschen. Yeah, I can't pronounce it anymore. I know what it means. It means like, actually no, I don't. Yep, sorry. I haven't taken German in more than 10 years. Party for Mavis when he comes to visit, and I volunteered to make cupcakes. I was like, yeah, I could totally bake a bunch of cupcakes, but as it turns out, smoke unfurls from the back doorway, inevitably followed up by a screech of fire alarm inside. Maple wrings her men's hands and winces guilty. I can't. Maple brushes back into the house. You and Ford running back after. You reach the door in time to see Ford, unruffled, grab a chair over the smoke detector and disable it easily as flipping a light switch. As for the smoke, you got straight to the kitchen window and opened it, fanning the smoke out of the house. Maple looks guilty at you both, attempting to waffle the smoke out of her oven mitt with her oven mitt. Now that you really look at her, you know there's flour on her sweater. In the kitchen floor and kitchen counter, leaning to a lopsided bag of flour, surrounded by similar mass of ingredients. Looks like you could use a hand, Maple. Why didn't you ask for help sooner? I'm sorry, Grunkle Ford. I just wanted to make them myself. She whips back its exaggerated despair. Can we say that the hatcher is the same size as they would be when they were here last? I think they would be like right here instead. But I need these cupcakes, and I need your help. She points at Ford. And your help. Maple then moves her pointer finger at you. Oh dear. Both of you absolutely need to help me with this. She looks between the two of you with those maple padded in puppy dog eyes, and whatever will you had left to resist crumbles immediately. You pat her shoulder reassuringly. It's alright, Maple. Baking is a difficult art, and even professionals have off days. And he glanced at the oven that's still leaking lingering smoke. I think adult supervision might be good for right now. Maple nods, looking between you and Ford. Well, it'll be easy peasy with you and Grunkle Ford helping me. You look at Ford, and Ford just looks questioningly to Maple. Why would you need both of us, Maple? Because she's trying to matchmake us. because we need to make like a bajillion of these. So many. This is a huge party. Plus, the more people that make them, the more love these cupcakes will have. There needs to be much more love in these cupcakes. That doesn't... Please, Grunkle Ford. You and Digital Wave are super convenient. The only ones who can help me. Maybe Dipper? He's out filming. He won't be back until sunset. It's gotta be you two. Ford glances hopelessly out the hallway for a moment, and Maple gives you a conspiratorial wink. Well, he's not looking, and then it dawns on you. This is your match-made date with Ford. Is it getting hot in here, or is it just the oven? Well... Please, Grunkle Ford, Digital Wave's already gonna help out. Right, Digital Wave? Yes, that's what I want. Totally. Heart picking up its pace. You glaze your hazarded look at Ford to find him looking oddly contemplatively now compared to before. He looks at you with a fleeting moment. You catch out the corner of your eye, his attention back on Maple by the time you register it, and Ford nods at her. Right, what do we need to do? Yes, okay. First rule is in baking. Wear an apron. They never a wrong time to make a fashion statement. Maple holds 2 aprons out. One scarlet and the other white. You have absolutely no idea when Maple had retrieved these aprons in the first place, but she already picked who gets which one. The red one is tossed to you, and the white one is thrown to Ford. You put it on and look down at yourself to read the upside down "Burn, baby, burn" printed across your chest, with a picture of a fiery grill underneath it. Faintly, it smells like a little like burning. I think he got me a male one. Ford's apron has some green text you can't quite catch, but he whoops it over his head and ties it. You can read it clearly. Okay, that one actually makes sense. You stuff a laugh and you read, as you read, next to the now clear over his broad chest, my other oven is a Bunsen. I got that one. I want that apron. That's actually pretty funny. Oh, I get it. Like a Bunsen burner. Well, it suits you. The second rule is baking is to know your recipe. It's got everything: the ingredients, the instructions, and the temperature. Ford looks to the corner and picks up a piece of paper. You guess it, it's the recipe. Judging by the frilly looking photo of a free tiered cake on the back, he scans over the ingredients, focused. And the third rule of baking is to forget your recipe. Within reason. Within reason. But that's only if the rule doesn't work out. How are you looking, Grunkle Ford? I was worried that we'll be short on sugar, but I think we'll make it. As you are you switching recipes, Mabel? There's a grants list here that aren't already on the counter. Maple laughs loudly and attempts to clap Ford on his shoulder. She only manages to reach his elbow, and you suddenly suspect that whoever's baking good maple had burned in the oven earlier was a fabricated failure. He glances over at the stovetop. The open box of store-bought cookies sitting on top confirms your suspicion. Oh, Grunkle Ford, you tell the best jokes. That wasn't a joke. Oh, look, we need flour. I already have that one out. Right next. Ford reads the list of ingredients aloud, and Maple darts around the kitchen, gathering them as he calls them out. You set the work finding the utensils Maple needs. Searching through the unfamiliar drawers, she points out to you. After opening nearly every cupboard, you come up with an array of mismatched measuring cups, 2 half tablespoons, and a dented tablespoon. Good enough. How many cupcakes do you need for tomorrow, Maple? At least 100. You may give her you gave her distinguished look of incredulity, and Maple sent back a series of gestures telling you to go along with it, pointing to Ford, thoughtful face, and mouthing, "He bought it." So since the recipe count makes 20 to 25, we make quintuple the recipe. Exactly what I'm thinking. If we play our cards right, we can get an exact 120, making full use of the cupcake pan each time. You're bewildered that Ford doesn't question the quality. Instead, he starts to factor in how many acceptable cupcake pans he can find in the cupboard, grumbling as he searched through the clangs and dull fubs of other bakery. Oh, when is the last time Stanley? There they are. Looks like we have one that's rusted and one that has it. Dishwife, get the pan that's already in the oven. We can manage to clean it. If we can manage to clean it. No, definitely uncleanable. It's totally burnt. Batter everywhere. Dishwife, can you? Oh, because I already know that you're lying. Maple makes gestures to dispose evidence of her baking failure, and you wince but nod. Seizing your chance, Ford's back is turned. You open the oven, grab whatever's inside with the oven mitt, and rush outside to drop it in the trash can, midway around the shack. It turns out to be a couple of store-bought cookies dropped in a muffin pan and left to burn to a crisp. You shake the cookies out with the trash, out into the trash, leaving you with a still hot but perfectly serviceable pan. Take the pan back and call it a miracle. You return to the kitchen. Look, the pan is actually fine. How lucky. Ford gives Maple an amused look. Yes, how fortunate. Can we get him to realize she's lying? Maple gives Ford a winning smile, but must be enough because Ford lands up with a smile soon after, shaking his head fondly. You see that Ford has bought a mixing bowl out while you were gone, whipped away most of the excess flour from the counter. He settles back into the role of a recipe reader now that you're back. I've already turned down the oven to the correct temperature. Maple notably doesn't look sheepish in the slightest, still grinning in front of the mixing bowl. So our next step is to add butter. I'll measure it out. And you settle into a rhythm, Maple measuring ingredients and tossing them in. Ford reads the recipe, pausing occasionally to bounce out Maple's haphazard methods of throwing ingredients into the bowl, and you mix everything into a suitable batter. 2 ingredients later, and you notice that Ford rolls his sleeve up to his elbows as he works. You could get used to the sight of him like this. You don't notice Ford returning your stare until he clears his throat. Apparently, your oogling lasted just a moment too long. Did you leave? Yeah? I just added the first cup of flour. Can you stir it now? Alright, Ford adds another cup as you stir the ingredients together, trying to ignore how red your face feels. Oh, look at you two, working so well together. It's like you don't even need me to be perfect. You know she's talking about the matchmaking, but Ford doesn't take it in that way. That's not entirely accurate. You're an essential member of our baking trio. After all, who else is creative enough to come up with unfulfilling theme for all these cupcakes? Unifying theme of all these cupcakes. You're right. I hadn't even thought about that yet. Maple starts to the standing on a chair next to Ford to reach the counter. Hops up and sits on the edge of the counter. Lovey-dovey or lovey-dovey? Nah, I can't decide. When Maple works it out of her creative genius, Ford scoops out the last cup of flour, going to wipe the excess back into the bag with his finger. Wait, I have a perfect idea. She lifts her arm in triumph and proudly sends Ford's heaped cup of flour flying. Ford fumbles to catch it, but ultimately fails, and the cup, along with the bag, fall into the mixing bowl, sending a mushroom cloud of flour into your face. Flour cakes Ford's glasses, along with his nose, cheeks, and forehead, and the front of his hair, to the point where the color is indistinguishable from his usual streak of gray. Well, technically he's gray, he's all gray, but Maple thankfully sing to the side of her perch on the counter, only got half covered in the explosion of flour, even though she already got various spots of flour all over her sweater. Oops. It's okay, Maple. Here, take this and dust the flour off. Maple attempts to brush the flour off her sweater as Ford takes off his glasses, blowing puffs of white from the lenses and wiping them clean with the hem of his turtleneck. He manages to clean most of the flour from his skin, but he missed a spot. Ford? I'm fine. I've had messier adventures in my time than a bit of flour. No, it's not it. No, that's not it. Brush off its hair yourself. There's a lot of flour still in your hair. What are you going to do with this batter? Okay, no. You reach over to brush it out. Ford gives you an uncertain expression, but stands still, letting you make contact. Your fingers only run through his hair for a second, but it was enough time for you to register how fluffy and flowery it is. You can't help but smile. That tugs your lips as you finish. You just had some flour there. Did I? Maple has stopped dusting herself off and is now looking between you and Ford with such anticipation, and you're getting self-conscious under her tension. Ford seems to notice too, because he takes an unnecessary step back and awkwardly clears his throat. Right, flower, mistake. Let's fix it. The three of you take a moment to stare at the disaster zone on the counter. Looks like the only thing we can do now is guess how much flour was added and scale the amounts of the rest of the grains to match it. I was going to start over. But that's a brilliant idea, Digitally. Let's do it. Maple, do you have another bowl for this operation? Good thing I found this mega big bowl for mixing. Maple presents a vessel more akin to a tub than a mixing bowl. It's clean though, and Ford transfers the batter over. Good call, Maple. Are you secretly a psychic? Nope, just a little thing I call the power of Maple. She does exaggerate jazz hands, shaking more flour off in the process. The three of you laugh before beginning the post-flour operation. Due to the mishap, you now need 4 times the other grains to match the flour that got dumped in the bowl. An inconvenience, but not impossible. As you measure out more sugar, you spot Ford adding to the bowl by cracking 2 eggs at a time in each hand. Show off. The kitchen is quiet during the bustle of measuring, adding, and remixing, but after a couple of minutes, Maple sighs. What's up, Maple? I don't know, Digital Wave. It feels silly to talk about it. Nothing's too silly. Well, that's a broad statement, but the point is we're willing to listen. Well, Greta and Mavis are throwing the party on Mavis' yacht, right? You have no idea who either of these people are, but play along with Maple for Maple's sake. Yeah? They're really getting into that romance zone. Greta even told me that they kissed. Ford only gives this a mild acknowledgement, so you have to amp up the reaction zone. They did not. They did so. Can you believe that? Seriously, cannot believe that. Ford looks lost as he continues to mix the batter together. And I'm really happy for Greta. I am, but sometimes I feel a little jealous. Greta's like one of my best friends. I don't get why I can't be happy for her without feeling this way. Everyone feels like that sometimes. You just have to let that feeling simmer inside you. No. Everyone feels like that sometimes. Wait, what did I... Okay, all you can do is try your best to stay positive for her, even if you feel a little bitter inside. And just know that eventually the feeling will pass. Really, everyone gets it this way. Even with friends, it doesn't mean you're a bad friend or anything. Thanks, Digital Wave. And anyway, if this is about romance, Maple, you're only a teenager. You might feel like you're watching your friends get married and settle down so quickly, but that doesn't start happening until you get to 25, or at least 18-ish adult. I know people that married way before 25. You're a wonderful girl. You're smart, pretty, and you can probably make a mean batch of cupcakes. I know that whoever you end up loving will be lucky to have you, and the perfect relationship will come your way in time. Maple seems to brighten up, and she smiles at you gratefully. Then she looks thoughtful. I'm getting married. I wonder when someone I know will get married. She's hitting us. She's not Pacific, but pointedly coughs into his fist. Wait, we have to get these cupcakes extra special before we can bake them. I thought they already were. Weren't we going to spit into 3 parts? Weren't we going to split this into 3 parts? Food coloring, marble them in. No, it's just special. I'm thinking extra special. I'm thinking explosion rocks. You mean the tanny candy that makes your mouth all tingly? You mean, not rock candy, it's not explosion rocks. I think it's just rock candy. Exactly. I'm going to grab my supply. Maple dashes out to get the candy, leaving you and Ford alone in the kitchen. Normally you expect the atmosphere to turn awkward, but you find yourself anticipating something instead. He gives Ford a smile. I love this. Good job calculating how much we need to savage the cupcakes. Ford laughs, leaning back against the counter. I just eyeballed it and adjusted based on the apparent vicinity. No calculation involved. And well, I couldn't let all the hard work go to waste after you suggest savaging it. I don't get it. You want to start over? Well, I have a whole plan in mind. We're going to quadruple the recipe. Now it's more like octable. 8 times. And I think it was the better route to take. Now that I think about it, that was the last of our flour. Wait, damn. Stanley needs flour for pancakes this week. Would he have cupcakes for breakfast instead? We're going to have plenty of extra. Knowing him, I think he probably is. The probability is very high. You were about to say something else, laying into the conversation when Maple re-enters the room. She's carrying a cardboard box stuffed to the brim with bright packets of explosion locks. I'm back, alright. Let's add these puppies in to make them make some cupcake magic. You and Ford start baking and helping Maple decant the explosion rocks into the batter. Decant. Ford glances at you, and you take the last packet into the bowl. Both of you know that the consumers of these cupcakes will have an unpleasant surprise from the explosion in their mouth, especially since the multicolored candy makes the batter look like an unassuming funfetti cupcakes. Then it's time to split the batter and marble them in the pan. The 3 colors Maple chose are deep purple, blue, and pink, which she says ties in perfectly with her theme. So are you going to tell us what the theme is yet? Nope. Let's get these in the oven. Ford picks up both pans and sticks them in the oven to bake. There's plenty of batter in the mixing bowl, and you barely skimmed the surface with the first batch. You and Ford share another look. Alright, it's time for the best part, frosting. What kind do we have? It's not what kind we have, it's what kind we are making. Maple presents another recipe card. Oh geez. Thankfully, the frosting is far easier to make than the batter. By the time you and Maple separate the sugar result into a few different bowls for coloring, the first batch of cupcakes come out from the oven 10 minutes ago and have cooled down on the counter. Maple puts it, they're ready to be Maple-ified. Ford grins at her as she starts dyeing a bowl of icing bright pink. Decorating the cupcakes is by far the most fun part of the afternoon. The three of you sit around the kitchen table, Maple purposely sitting you and Ford next to each other, while she takes a remain spot, and you use the different frosting tips to make designs on all of the cupcakes. Maple finally reveals her theme to be outer space because space is full of romance, and this way we can say they're a parody is out of this world. So the three of you cover the marble cupcakes in a galaxy of wavy combinations of color frosting. Ford puts it simply, it's delighted to be the theme. You're pretty sure the constellations he painstakingly eyes in his 25 cupcakes will pass as illustrations in a stargazer guide. In the middle of completing a second Aeron, Ford gets some ice in his face. A dip of blue somehow made it onto his chin, probably from testing the icing to make sure it tasted good. It did, of course. Maple looks kicks you from under the table. Oh, shh. And she nods her head to Grunkle, giving you a meaningful look that Ford completely misses. He wipes most of it off, but there's now a streak of blue on his cheek, so you smear it with your finger, wipe it off him, pull it out, wipe it off him. Maple watches as you both, watching you both expectantly, but you weren't sure you have the guts to do what she really wants to happen, and besides, you're not sure Ford's ready for that. You opt for Plan B instead. Here, I'll get it. You reach over with a napkin to gently wipe the streak away. Hope he doesn't notice how your hands shake with nerves from the close proximity. Ford is also hyper-aware of how close the two of you are now, and you can't ignore how his gaze drops from your eyes to your lips as he inches closer to wipe the icing away. There, I got it. Ford's cheeks almost matched his sweater. Thank you, Digital Wave. Eventually, the three of you finish decorating over 100 cupcakes. Looking at them all lined in the counter, you could really see the decline in quality as you, Ford, and Maple got worn out. The last few have frosting in solid colors with just a handful of stars-shaped sparkles on top. I can't believe we're finally done. Yes, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think I had enough of the night sky to last me the rest of the week. Oh, but you're not done. We're not done. Maple sounds about as peppy as she has all day, even though she must be tired as you and Ford. There's just one last thing to do. Clean up because we have a huge mess here. No, Grunkle Ford, more important than that. More urgent, more desperately needed. Ford looks perplexed. What could that be? The glitter! Mabel pulls out a sizable tub of blue edible glitter that's been sitting in the back corner of the counter for, you're guessing, the whole afternoon you've been in here, unscrewing the lid, revealing the sparkling, shining contents. Each of you grab a handful of glitter, sprinkle deliberately over each cupcake. The only person who seems to be hesitating is Ford, who's getting is stopping to attempt glitter grants in order to keep his early icing work clean of glitter. I'm keeping away from the glitter too. I've actually had to sync with my eye, Maple. I was younger than you, but I had to with my eye. Maple always comes in after him, though, and fills the blanks, so the whole thing sparkles. Well, enough that the tube is nearly empty. Great, all of them are for the party. Except for the ones for Dipper, the one for Grunkle Stan, and the one for Waddles. Maple puts the exceptions aside, and in the end, the three of you grab a cupcake each as a reward for the afternoon's hard work. You tap them together in a pursuit of toast and absolutely devour them. The cupcakes taste odd, but that just makes it amazing. It's probably the explosion rocks. You detect the faint spice of love and adoration. A good, if not perfect cupcake. The remaining cupcakes are strategically set or lifted in the pantry among the cheese boodles and various other snack foods, ready to be brought to the party tomorrow afternoon. Maple stretches and yawns dramatically before grabbing the plate of cupcakes that had been set aside. Well, I better get these over to the boys. You know how Grunkle Stan gets when he smells something cooking and doesn't get a taste. You're not quite sure you do, but 4 nods knowingly, so it must be true. Anyway, I'll leave you two little birds alone. Thanks for your help, and you're welcome for my help. Maple sends a wink and a finger guns as she leaves. Your heart freezes in your chest as Ford looks at Maple's exit with an unreadable look, then faces you. You see, I have no idea. I know what's going on. I still have no idea. Can you tell me? This is the first time Maple tried to find my match. You can't find the words to express your mixture of relief and confusion. Ford explains. I suppose she's at the age where kids are thinking about romance and dating. Stanley and I are just 2 of her recent subjects for these compatibility experiments. Compatibility experiments. Last time Maple reached out to Mirando to set me up with a mermaid. She didn't tell me what kind of situation it was, and I unknowingly grilled him with enough science queries about merpeople to send him back underwater with a grumbling bubble. Ford gives you a small drone smile. But I can't say that it's been all bad. After all, I haven't managed to repeat that kind of mistake here. It would be funny if they were just Ace and he was just Ace instead. And it's like, I don't want to. So how do you think that this match is going? Ford shrugs, though he's spying a white brush. I think this one has potential. You both look around, disaster scene of the kitchen. Since Maple conveniently had other things to do, she left you and Ford with the task of cleaning everything. Ford rolls up his sleeves and adjusts his glasses. Come on, let's get this kitchen cleaned up. And that is end for today. If you like my content, please subscribe, like the help out, and comment below. I'll see you guys next time. We are going to, I think, hopefully finish his route today or tomorrow. Tomorrow.